Welcome to episode 2 of How the Bible Came to Be. Today, we confront a quiet but powerful misconception. The Old Testament was always fixed and identical. It was not. In the first century, there was no single universal Jewish canon. There were multiple scriptural traditions living side by side. And the early church did not inherit one Bible. She inherited a world of scrolls. Envision a first-century synagogue. Jesus unrolls a scroll from Isaiah. What scriptures did he proclaim? There was no binding Old Testament shared by all Jews. The Pharisees emphasized the 39 books later adopted by Protestants, Genesis through Malachi. The Essenes at Qumran, whose library was discovered in the Dead Sea Scrolls in 1947, preserved a wider collection: Tobit, Judith, 1st and 2nd Maccabees, Wisdom, Sirach, and Baruch. The Sadducees rejected prophetic books like Daniel altogether. The scriptures were not one voice, but a chorus. At the heart of this world stands the Septuagint, the Greek translation of the Hebrew scriptures. It was begun around 250 BC in Alexandria, where many Jews no longer spoke Hebrew. And unlike the later Hebrew canon, the Septuagint included the full collection, those books we now call deuterocanonical. This was the Bible of the Apostles, the Bible proclaimed in the earliest churches. The New Testament contains over 300 quotations from the Old Testament. About 3/4 follow the wording of the Septuagint, not the later Hebrew Masoretic text. One example is decisive. Matthew 1:23 quotes Isaiah 7:14. The Septuagint uses Parthenos, virgin. The Hebrew reads only young woman. The Gospel follows the Greek. And it does not stop there. Romans 1 echoes Wisdom 13:14. Hebrews 11 recalls the martyrs of 2nd Maccabees. James reflects Sirach. Peter evokes Tobit. Revelation draws from Maccabees. Luke mirrors Judith. These are not accidents. They are inheritances. The earliest Christian writers continue the same pattern. Clement of Rome cites Wisdom and Judith as scripture. Ignatius of Antioch uses Baruch prophetically. The Didache draws from Sirach. Justin Martyr, around 150 AD, tells a Jewish critic that their scriptures, including the books later rejected, testify to Christ. The church did not expand the canon. She received it. The Old Testament was not fixed by Christ's time. It was received through tradition, not imposed by authority. Only later, around 90 AD, did Rabbinic Judaism restrict the canon to Hebrew texts, partly in response to Christianity. Centuries later, reformers adopted that post-Christian Jewish canon. And so today, Protestants have 39 books, Catholics 46, Orthodox even more. Yet the Bible Jesus read, the Bible the apostles preached, was larger than the one many Christians read today. This is not about loss. It is about memory. It is about seeing how Scripture lived before it was bound, how it breathed before it was numbered. Thank you for joining How the Bible Came to Be. Subscribe for episode 3, From Preaching to Gospel, and tell us in the comments which part of this history stirred you most. Together, we trace our sacred inheritance.